Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Anissa binti Muhammad Isa, and today me and my group members are going to present about Kim River toxic pollution. On March 7, 2019, about 20 to 40 tons of hazardous chemical waste were illegally disposed of into Kim River, Pasir Gudang, Malaysia. The toxic fumes released by the disaster affected more than 6,000, among whom were mostly school students who needed hospitalization. The symptoms included nausea, dizziness, breathing difficulties, and vomiting. Therefore, around 110 schools were closed for a limited time. It was revealed 3 company directors and a lorry driver were charged under Section 34B of the Environmental Quality Act. The 2 of the accused company directors are Singaporeans nationals.
The sector that relate with this case is first the industrial sector. Industrial sector play a main role. The illegal dumping of approximately 2.43 tons of hazardous chemical waste by a lorry tanker, mainly marine oil and other toxic substances, triggered the disaster. This illegal act reflected poor industrial waste management practices and a lack of awareness among management about the severe consequences of improper disposal. Many factories in the area failed to comply with environmental regulations, opting for illegal dumping to cut costs. Secondly, the environmental sector was heavily impacted. The illegal dumping released toxic gases such as benzene and methane, contaminating a 1.5 kilometer stretch of the river. This caused ecological damage, killed aquatic life, and polluted water resource. The incident exposed weakness in environmental regulation enforcement and monitoring by authorities. Insufficient real-time environmental monitoring delayed detection and response, worsening the spread of the pollution. Thirdly, the public health sector faced a major crisis with over 6,000 people, including school children, falling ill due to exposure to toxic fumes. Symptoms including respiratory distress, dizziness, and skin irritation. Health authorities had to temporarily close over 100 schools to protect students. The incidents highlighted gaps in emergency preparedness and the need for better health surveillance in industrial area. Thirdly,
from Kim River toxic pollution, there are 2 types of hazard found, which is occupational health hazard, including inhalation of toxic fumes, dermal exposure to chemicals, inadequate protective equipment, and psychological stress. For hygiene hazards, there are airborne contamination, water and soil contamination, lack of community hygiene protocol, and poor air quality management. The risk analysis hazard identification found for this topic is that hazardous chemical waste, illegal dumping practices, inadequate emergency response, lack of community awareness and monitoring. The likelihood from the risk analysis is high. This is due because of weak enforcement of environmental regulations, corruption, limited oversight of the 250 chemical factories in Pasir Gudang. Also, there are discovered 46 additional dumping sites, which indicating a pervasive issue. For the severity, it's classified as severe. Over 6,000 people were affected, 2,775 hospitalized. Long-term health impact, for example, myokemia and respiratory issues reported years later. Environmental damage disrupted local ecosystems and livelihood. Let me brief a bit about the hazards that contained in the hazard worksheet. The first one is non-compliance with scheduled waste regulations. The second one is dumping of toxic or scheduled waste illegally into the river. The third one is improper storage of waste and chemical, water contamination, and spill of chemicals while transporting waste. Lastly, in the hazard worksheet, poor waste management practice in the factory, toxic gas emissions, and inadequate of community awareness.
factors that directly contributed to this accident include lack of awareness among industrial waste management about hazardous waste handling leading to irresponsible disposal, illegal chemical dumping, which was the immediate cause and a violation of Malaysia's Environmental Quality Act, release of toxic gases from chemical reactions in the river causing acute health hazard. Then, factors that indirectly contributed to this accident include weak regulation and enforcement, which allow offenders to operate with little deterrence, lack of environmental monitoring by authorities, delay in detection and response to the pollution, and lastly, poor industrial waste management practices, reflecting negligence and cost-cutting at the expense of safety and the environment. In conclusion, the Kim River incident was a major accident involving many parties, including public health authorities, environmental agencies, and the government. It had a significant impact on aquatic life, people, and the economy. The Kim River case demonstrates how both direct and indirect variety of factors contributed to the crisis, including inadequate monitoring, poor industrial waste management, and low awareness within the industrial sector. In the end, all parties need to be involved to prevent such incidents from occurring and becoming even worse.